Okay, so I heard about the winter school, probably about the last edition by organizer, and they were very enthusiastic. So when they proposed me to come, then we discussed about the topic, and it's a topic that is particularly interesting. What is happening here also, what I've heard about the student, the fact that they are engineers and highly skilled in that, I thought it would be a good idea to come and discuss here about this kind of topic. So artificial intelligence and the mix with economics, especially in this place with this kind of students. I've seen there are a lot of students in the room, so I think it's quite an important moment to speak about this kind of stuff. So here it was interesting to discuss, especially here, about this kind of topic because the position of the university in Africa starts to be quite important. And I think that being here make all of us think more about the perspective of AI in Africa and towards economic application than if it were done somewhere else. So I think that being there pushes us to think more about this kind of application in this continent and the perspectives that are naturally big because of the potential of Africa. Now, it's probably very important to discuss about this kind of topic and artificial intelligence and mix that with developed countries and developing countries. There is a potential asymmetry in terms because AI, let's make it again. So what is important to understand is that artificial intelligence mainly use data to take decisions or give information. So the question will be for a lot of countries, where comes this data from? Because if the data are not describing your unique position economically, in terms of demographics, in terms of capability, it will be somehow useless because the conclusions will not be adapted to your specific context. So that's why all countries have to take a role in discussing the data and the way they will feed artificial intelligence in general. So the collaborations we can have between École Polytechnique in Paris and UMCSP are about discussing how to set up this kind of data set or this kind of way to use data that will generate positive secondary innovations for all countries. So the fact that there is a diversity of people in the audience, from professionals, professors, and students, and also in terms of different horizons and domains of application, is very interesting when you prepare a presentation, even if it's specific and dedicated to the financial system. Because you need to understand what is common in terms of problems to other domains of the industry or industrial domains and finance. And also there are commonalities, but there are also big differences. And so when I prepared my presentation, I was trying to make a balance between being generic enough so that people can have takeaways in their own disciplines or domains, because artificial intelligence and machine learning is deeply interdisciplinary, because it's a domain that comes from applied math that build secondary applications in a lot of different domains in contact of the other domains. So I try to give generic enough takeaways, but also for people who wants to come from another discipline and start to try to build applications or to study problems on financial markets, I wanted to give them the specificity of financial markets, things that make it different. So because of that, my presentation has somehow, each section has two folds, one that is quite generic and one that is very specific. So it's also very interesting to build a presentation like that. For our next edition, what may be interesting is to have some either short talks by students or a way so that researchers and professionals meet more students to have more exchanges at this level, because we are in a university, and so it could be very interesting to have more discussions with students that could be two ways. We will learn what they want to do, where they want to go, and maybe for future collaborations it will be interesting, and they will know what kind of topics we are working on more closely for their own research or their choice in career. Then about the kind of topics that could be addressed next time, I think that data is probably at the center of machine learning in general and artificial intelligence also. So having people talking about what are the perspectives in terms of new data or specific data for the continent here in Africa, or what are the unique data sets, or how to structure data sets to be ready to have artificial intelligence ingesting or digesting them. I think it could be a good next step, because here we focused on a lot on algorithms by themselves, but they are fed with data. So next time, maybe a little more about data could be interesting too.